The prevailing paradigm in sports generally, from a coaching standpoint, is often no pain, no gain. And the notion behind that, I think, is disputed by the actual findings, that people tend to have repetitive overuse injuries, they tend to burn out, they tend to overextend themselves and end up less productive as players. The approach we take is a different paradigm, and we could say that it's train without strain, that invest in rest. Invest in rest to gain success in sports. And it means, in tennis terms, that when I take a look at an hour of tennis, an hour-long tennis match, it's the actual fact that 45 minutes of that hour are not playing tennis. 15 minutes is actually hitting tennis balls and chasing them, getting them back and forth. So in the 45 minutes, when we're not playing tennis, time between points, time between games, time on changeovers, time between sets, the person who's able to recharge his physiology, to replenish what's needed physically speaking, and also who can recover emotionally and mentally from the challenge, whether it's the over-exhilaration of having hit the greatest shot in his life or the disappointment of having lost a close game or a close set. The person who can recover emotionally is going to stand the best chance then, physically and emotionally, to play better when they're actually hitting the ball in those 15 minutes out of the hour of a tennis match. So my emphasis then is on training to use those gaps, to gain mastery of the gaps, to take advantage of the opportunity to rest, to return the physiology to a steady state, to do so on the basis, to play then on the basis of balance and not on the basis of being so overly pumped up that fuses are short. I like to say that if you're going to play in the zone, it helps to live there first. It helps to live in the zone first, to play in the zone. And having a physiology that's balanced, that does not have fatigue and strain dominating the day, that doesn't need Red Bull to get through the tests that you have to take, that doesn't need any kind of artificial emotional overstimulation to get ready to play, but is just geared for athletics through gradual and balanced training, is going to find the best chance for success out on the court. If I play Roger Federer, I'm going to lose. I know that. But if I play Roger Federer, and I'm playing with a physiology that's balanced, that isn't carrying a lot of fatigue and strain, I'll play my best. And that's all I can ever ask of any of our players. Our emphasis is actually always on the process of improvement and not on the outcome. There are a lot of trophies in our trophy case, a lot of banners hanging from the walls, but they've been a secondary emphasis. Our primary emphasis is on simply the process of improvement. My notion is, if we commit ourselves to continuous improvement, the outcomes, the trophies, the tournament victories will take care of themselves. And so far they have. I think that the well-rounded high school experience leads to a well-rounded life experience. I take pride in the fact that the last 5 years in a row our kids have made to the Final Four, have finished third 3 times, and twice we finished second during that span. During that time, we've had guys who've gone on to college to play other sports, to become saxophonists. One guy built a harp; he can play it. Other guys, we have guys who are doing all kinds of things besides tennis, or in addition to their recreational tennis, as a result of having, had this experience be very much exhilarating, but not dominating of their lives. You have to be able to play all day, so it's an aerobic sport. You have to have hand-eye coordination. But all of those things being present will not guarantee a person plays good tennis. I think having an even keel, having the ability to recover from disappointment, having the wherewithal to respond in a balanced manner to success, actually form a larger component of who will be a good tennis player and who won't. That's why I think the off-court training of getting rid of stress and the taking advantage of the times when we're not actually hitting the ball during a match give a leg up to the player who can regain balance and maintain it during the match. So I would work on the life skills and on the overall physiological foundation for an emotional even keel first to make a champion. And along with that, of course, I have to have somebody who can run and who can hit. We had a total of 6 boys out for tennis our first year. That's the minimum requisite for Iowa high school tennis. Very first match we played versus Albia in Albia. In 1988, one of the boys wasn't in school that day, so we had 5 boys. We got out of the van, we were behind 2-0. We lost number 6 singles by default, we lost number 3 doubles by default, and we had to play. It turned out, it was fortunate, we won the match 5-4 nonetheless. And so that was the well begun is half done, as they like to say. The very first time we went to state and won the state championship, we played schools that were 4 and 5 times bigger than we were. We met one of the teams the night before at a family restaurant, and one guy kind of almost sneeringly challenged one of our guys, well, how big is your school anyway? And we said, well, it's about 45, 50 kids. They said, well, that's not even as big as our graduating class. And our boy came back to the table, and I said, it only takes 6. We beat him. It was in 1999 and 2000. We had state singles champion, state doubles champion, state team champion in the 1A division, both those years. Consecutive year Triple Crowns have happened only once. Triple Crowns have happened for other schools, though, and Dubuque-Wahlert most recently, and before that, Cedar Rapids, Washington. But we'll lay claim to this one item of fame, if that's all right, for now. Well, to hear that I was selected as Coach of the Year for the nation by the United States Professional Tennis Association was one of the happiest moments I can remember. I'm still, they say, at home grinning ear to ear. And it was an honor professionally and a joy personally. I've been playing tennis 50 years. This organization's been around credentialing, teaching pros and coaches for 82 years. The greatest players in the world, Jack Kramer among them. Many world level players have been part of the United States Professional Tennis Association. And so I really, I'm delighted, and I admit to be surprised. It's not often that a flyover state like ours, gets the attention in a sport like tennis. It's usually the coasts and the southern, Sun Belt states. So to have that level of recognition for a school in Iowa, and for me personally, has really been gratifying, very deeply gratifying. Back in the 1960s, when I